All right, then. Um, I got some very minor tech stuff to do, and also somebody brought in an ukulele that has some sort of problem. Let's see what the problem is. It's like a shredder ukulele. Look, it's got real guitar tuners on it. What do we got here? Okay, so what's the problem? Oh, I see what the problem is. Oh, um, problem is this gap right here. That's bad. I'm gonna drop wood glue in here, and I'm gonna throw a clamp on it, and we're going to cross our fingers and hope that that works. So I've actually had this in here for a while, and I didn't touch it. I should have taken a look at what it was earlier. Let's see. So I'm going to bring. I think you guys seen. I finally broke down and bought one of those string winder thingies. There's the charger for it. Go. This one says Ulu Mac, made in China, crafted with passion, played with soul. Seems like if I can get that glue in there, that this thing will clamp up just fine. Test that theory. The big part is the if of getting the glue in. I think Titebond is activated with water. Let me see. Apply a heavy spread of glue to surface and clamp it for a minimum of 30 minutes. Oh, I guess this one isn't water activated. So, throwing caution to the wind here. I'm just going to spread this thing open, squirt this in there, and let's hope. Woo! Let me get the clamp first. Have one of those universal luthiers tools of a toothpick. So let's just have a look here. Hopefully this clamp will open far enough. Let's check that before I go. Oh, shoot. Okay. That's no good. Guess I could get a longer clamp. That's not good. Not have a longer clamp. If I can get this angle. This angle. Oh, this angle. Nope. Right. Other choice is to race this somehow so it's stuck that way. It would actually work with this, but see if this clamp can't be modified. Place where I can actually wedge this sucker in. All right, you know what? Deal with this ukulele later. I'm gonna put this on the side for now. Get another clamp. So let me what I was really hoping to work on today. So I'm still horrible with this tablet app. See if I can actually get this going. So I have a see my input plus minus ground. I'm really bad with this. So this is an XLR. This is the in on my patch bay for my guitar processor. For I have a big pedal board. It's got this is the input for my in-ear monitors. And the way this is wired is the plus goes to the left input of my IEM transmitter. I'm supposed to say IEM send. The minus goes to the right input, and the ground goes to the ground input on both of them, which is fine. But a lot of times you're only going to have a mono send from the mixing console. So I need that to go to both channels. So what I need is an XLR that takes the mono input, goes out to another XLR where let's see, it's going to be the plus from that one, and then it's just going to get wide off like a Y cable, and it's going to also go to the plus from that one, and I'm going to tie minus and ground together. So is that how I do this? Minus and the ground are going to be stuck together. That way, the positive, the actual balance or whatever the signal output is going to go to both the left and the right of my in-ears. And but what if I do have a stereo one? And so in that case, I want a Y cable with be female XLR, two female XLRs into one male XLR. And in this case, it's going to probably be sending valence signals, but I don't want the valence signal. I want the plus from here. One, I should have named these left and right or something. Yeah, I'm sorry, I cannot control this thing. The minus and the ground, I'm going to stick together. And so this pin is going to be +1. This one's going to be +2. And this one is going to be the ground and the negative stuck together. I think that works. Does that make sense? Let me know if I'm getting this wrong. I think that's right. So the in this case, this piece will be getting the plus from one side of the stereo pair. The minus will be getting from the other side of the stereo pair. and the ground and negative will be summed together on both of these, and it'll go into my in-ears. So let's see what I got from Amazon here. And of course, I could have just made these cables myself, and since I got to take them apart, I don't know why I didn't. But let's take a look at exactly what's going on here, because a lot of times you'll get Amazon cables where they say they're balanced, but they're not balanced. So they won't actually work the way we want. So the way I think that this is wired is going to be, I think that this is going to be wired that pin 2 is going to go to pin 2 of both of these. Pin 2 on the male is going to go to pin 2 on both females. And pin 1 is going to go to pin 1 on both the males, and pin 3 is going to go to pin 3 on both the males. I'm not sure about that, so let me do pin 2. Let me check the continuity meter. There we go. Pin 2. Pin 2, sorry. Okay, that's definitely right. I'm going to check pin 3. That's right. And pin 1. Oop. So if those are connected this way, then these are probably just going to connect the same way. So pin 1 to pin 1 on each female. Yep. Make sure there's no shorts. Okay, no shorts. Pin 3 is to pin 3. These are imitation Neutrix. Appear to be copper plated. Interesting. These, a lot of these go bad because they don't use enough material in the female one. The male ones are almost always good. It's the female ones where it's just the port is too big and it just doesn't make contact, especially if you got phantom in here and crackle in and out. I've noticed that a lot of these cheap brands like GLS work perfectly fine. Then I've gotten some other ones that are duds. So it looks like, here we can see these. It looks like these are actually both the reds are coming off of this guy. So what I have to do, I could just cut one of these reds. I have a couple choices here. I could do it at this end or I could do it at that end. What I need to make sure is that the pin 3 is of the male. Sorry. Yeah. Pin 3 of the male is going to one of these pin 2s. And short these together. I think the best thing that I should do here is to short both the negatives. Remove pin 3. I think what the smartest thing for me to do is to take one of these red wires and put it onto pin 3, and take both these black wires off. Oh, I saw some video where somebody had a really good solder sucker. I didn't. Oh, I should have bought it. So first of all, I'm just gonna desolder. I need to get some more needle nose pliers for doing this kind of work. That's off. And now this one. Just a tip. So it's not only handier to have this thing in a some kind of jack to make it easier to work, but it also keeps them from deforming. It's not so bad on XLRs, but when you're doing D subs, if you don't plug them into something, lots of times the heat will just wreck all your work and completely distort the connector. So be careful with that. That's why I like having these. You can also make like a block of wood with all the different jacks in it. That works really good. These testers are so cheap that you may as well have it both for both. All right, so I really only have to take one of these off, but I don't know if that's going to be possible. So I'm just going to remove this whole thing. Split these. I could cut this back. There's a lot of more cable than I really need, but I think I'll be able to split these. Yep, they're just right there. Okay. I think the trick is put my eyeballs are going so bad. Trust the solder that's in here, really. Let me get the solder sucker I have. It's not great, but trust the solder. Solder bucket. Wire one of these guys to pin 2 and one of them to pin 3. And I think I can just wire the negatives onto into the ground right here, but I'm trying to think if there's a reason not to do that. Pretty sure that no matter how I drew this, it would end up the same. So, heat shrink, I'd never really use it. Probably should one of these days. Makes for much cleaner. Trying to think if there's a reason not to just tie the negatives to ground right here. I think so. We can test this too. Stereo output source. Actually, I have a headphone send that's on an XLR right now. But let me just let me check this how this is going right now. So what we should be seeing now is that pin 2. So that's that side, and pin 2 is not making continuity with the other one. Pin 3 should be, sorry, pin 2. Okay, so pin 2 is good. Let me check pin 2 on the other one. So pin 2 here should be the other, right? Okay, hold on. 2. Oh, that's right. Okay. Okay, so let's check pin 3. So what I should be seeing is that pin 3, this is going to be grounded to all of them. Pin 1 and pin 3 are going to be connected the whole way. Yep. Okay. So unless my brain is completely broken right now, this is correct. This is all I need to do to make my use stereo in-ears if I need them. Of course, if they have stereo on one XLR cable, then it's already done anyway. But I think that's good for this one. I'm a little sketched about this Oh, that's good. Okay. Let me put this back together. So these are Cable Matters connectors. Man, they feel really good. I just, Louis Rossman has shown multiple times that there's a lot of Amazon electronic stuff that's really bad, actually dangerous. But I've had really good luck with Cable Matters, GLS, and there's one that starts with an M. I don't think it's Monoprice. I think it's a different one. Um, and hit or miss with the name. It starts with a P. But if I remember, I'll tell you. But I've had some hit or miss. The GLSs have always had good luck with all their imitation Neumanns, or who knows if they're imitations. These Cable Matter ones feel pretty good. They don't make the clicky sound, but aside from that, I'm gonna look in here real quick at the female end. Work. You never know. Very robust body here. I think that's good. So now I got to think about this other one. It's, the mono one. So I have two cables here. I think there's a 2-pack. Yep. I'm gonna keep. I definitely got to mark this so I know that this is the special cable and not just an extender. Um, think about how I do that. I did buy a bunch of cable labels. But if I'm unlucky here, this is going to be like an unbalanced cable in here. Let's find out. So also seems like Cable Matters, I think. Yep, Cable Matters. Again, pretty solid construction on this thing. Super cheap. Hope this is a balance. Actually, let's test it with this Behringer guy here. See if this is balanced. Cable tester says it's balanced, so that's good. And so what I need to do is to tie the pin 3 and pin 2 together on this end. This is the end. This is the receiving end. I need it to send pin 2 to both pin 2 and 3 on the output. So much trouble. This is what happens when you get old. Your brain stops working. So I need pin 2 here to go to both pin 2 and pin 3. I'm just going to tie pin 3 to ground. So the work that needs to be done on the female side. Then maybe I'll go to the hardware store and get longer clamp so I can fix that ukulele. Part here. Silver. Yeah, silver sharp. No, I did. That's how I want to mark this thing. I want to make sure I know this is a mono. Pin. I need to connect pin 3 to pin 2, or I need to actually take this cable off and put it onto pin 2. Short those two together, and then I'm going to short in pin 1 and pin 3. Man, get it out. Good work done on these. These tariffs make these things a lot more expensive, but hopefully not. Hopefully this whole tariff thing will be over pretty quick. But dropping a lot of solder into this solder bucket. Sometimes you have a situation where they make it in a way where that solder goes right through, and can't plug the male in anymore. Let's see if that's the issue. I put a lot of heat on this thing too, so that's a little scary. So I need to short. Oh. Yeah, I can see the body is actually deforming. That's why it's a good thing to plug this in. It may be too much anyway. I actually see the plastic bubbling. And that can happen even with the good stuff. Yeah, look at that. Look how it's a little bit wobbly. Uh, looks like a cold solder joint to me. All right, so I have to short pin 2 and pin 3. Often I just do that with a guitar string or piece of wire or whatever. And look, they gave us a twist tie here. And it's easy enough to test if it went right. So I just take that little bit of twist tie that they gave us, and I'm going to see if I can't get that to stick. Not like it's some massive signal coming through here, so it doesn't need to be very big at all. Twist tie should be just fine. Problem is sometimes this kind of metal doesn't want to stick. But you're all good. Shorten it. That's all I'm doing. It's off. Stick. It's okay though. Go. Not the most exciting of tech work, right? Sometimes you guys see me fixing digital mixers and stuff on here. All right, so this should be right. Let's check it. So definitely pin 1 and pin 3 should short. So let's try that. No. What in the world? I got pin 2 and pin 3 shorted. Oh no, that's right. Duh. Okay, pin 2 and pin 3 are supposed to short. Pin 3 from the male should be shorted to pin 1. Pin 1 from the male should be on pin 1. Okay. Let's make sure that we got pin 2 going across. Uh-oh. Okay, this is weird. So this is the signal we need. I don't know if I'm in the way. Now it's gone. Pick that solderage away. I think that's good. Either way, if I send something to my Pioneers, I should be good. I have a little mixer on there that so I can take from the headphone send from my Helix or from here or from a Zoom that I use for like ambient sounds. Kind of overkill, but very handy. Well, that reminds me, I have to get a long cable for that Zoom. Okay, I got to get a long power cable, and I got to figure out where on that board I can take USB power from. I think that's it for this. I'm gonna go put this in my bag for my Helix, and I'm gonna go to the hardware store, get a longer clamp for the ukulele.